Good evening, everyone. With me, Marcellinus Bhanu, and today we will talk about Project 1 of Sociolinguistic. I'm from class 336807 with my student number is 33220073. This is what are the topic for today's presentation. First, we will talk about diglossia with its mini topic. Number one is what is diglossia, and next one is characteristic. Next one is the example of diglossia itself. Next we have dialect with its own mini topic, of course. Number one is type of dialect. Number two is characteristic. Number three is examples. So, what is diglossia? As you can see here, diglossia is a fascinating concept in sociolinguistic. It refers to situations where two distinct varieties of language coexist within the same speech of community, each serving different social functions. Typically, one variety is considered the high or the H form, used in formal settings like education, government, and literature, while the other is the low or the L form, used in everyday conversations and informal interactions. So what is the H and L, or the high variety and the low variety? So the high variety is a formal version of a language and mostly used in education, government, and official settings. It's more prestigious, complex, and typically learned in school. And what is low variety, or the L? It's the informal, or you can say it's everyday spoken form, like you use in everyday languages, and use in casual conversations with your friends, family, and is also acquired naturally and has simple grammar and expressions. Note, the choice between the H and L depends on the social context, and in strict diglossic situations, people never mix them, never mix between the H and L. Instead, they switch depending on whether they are in a formal or informal environment. The characteristic of the H and L, the high and low variety. In the high variety, we can see it's used in formal settings like government, education, literature and media, and religious sermons, like I mentioned before, and often associated with prestige and higher social status. Number three is usually learned in school rather than acquired naturally, and last is more complex and standardized in grammar and vocabulary. And as for the low variety, it's used in informal and everyday conversations, like at home, among your friends, in a casual and social interactions. Next, usually acquired naturally as the first language, has simplified grammar and more casual expressions. Often viewed as less prestigious, but it's more widely spoken. This is the example of the H and L. In the high variety, it's usually the difference is the modern and the standard Arabic, and the katarefusa in Greek, and bahasa baku in Indonesia, in bahasa Indonesia. As for the low variety, is the Egyptian Arabic and Demotic Greek, and as in Indonesia, it's bahasa gaul. And these are the examples. We will use only bahasa Indonesia because I'm Indonesian, of course. And in this part, for the high variety or the bahasa baku, this is the sentences is, saya akan menghadiri rapat penting di kantor besok pagi. Or in English, I will attend an important meeting at the office tomorrow morning. This is the example of the formal way to say these words, and for the low varieties, more of a informal, or the language that you use in everyday time, you know, when you talk to your friends, to your family sometimes. So the words is this, it's the same. The point is the same. Gue bakal datang ke meeting penting di kantor besok pagi. Or in English is I'm gonna show up. I'm gonna show up at important meeting at the office tomorrow morning. So the difference is it use I'm gonna show, while as the for the high variety it use I will attend. So that's the difference between the formal and the informal language in Bahasa Indonesia. So next we talk about dialect. The dialect is a sociolinguistic refers to a regional or social variety of language that differs in pronunciation, grammar, and vocabulary. It emerged due to geographical separations, social class distinction, or historical influences, and they play a crucial role in shaping linguistic identity. So a dialect is not completely separate from a language. It's not a completely separated language, but rather a variation of language spoken by a specific group of people. It can be influenced by factors such as region, ethnicity, social class, and historical development. While dialects may differ significantly, speakers of different dialects of the same language can usually understand each other. So this other type and example of dialects. As for the type of dialects, we have regional, social dialects, ethnic dialects, and standard dialects. What is regional dialects? Regional dialects is a variation based on geographical location, such as, for example, is the British English and the American English. And social dialects, it's differences based on social classes or a different group of identity. For example, working class versus upper class. And then ethnic dialects, language variation influenced by cultural or ethnic backgrounds. For example, African American vernacular English. And last is standard dialects, is the variety considered the official or the most prestigious form of a language often used in educational and media. So the example is English. We have the dialect from English, Spanish, Chinese, and Indonesian. As for the English, we have the British and American and Australian English, the difference in that. Then Spanish, we have the Castilian versus Latin American Spanish. And in Chinese, there's Mandarin, Cantonese, and Shanghainese. Usually difference from where they're coming from, or the location, or the geographical location here, the regional dialects. And then Indonesian, we have the standard Bahasa Indonesia versus the Javanese Bahasa Indonesia, and then we have the Sundanese Bahasa Indonesia. So these are the characteristics. First is regional variation. Regional variation dialects often develop based on geographical location, leading to differences in pronunciation, vocabulary, and grammar. And then we have social influence. Social class, ethnicity, and group identity can shape dialects, creating distinct way of speaking within communities. And then mutual intelligibility. Speakers of different dialects of the same language can usually understand each other, though some differences may require adaptation. As for the mutual intelligibility, usually used by the north and the south of the Korean, there are differences in pronunciation usually, but they understand each other. And then grammatical variation, sentence structure and words usage may differ. For example, he don't know nothing versus he doesn't know anything. And we have phonological differences. Pronunciation and accent variation are common in dialects. Example, British and American English. And then lexical differences. Different words may be used for the same concepts. Example, truck in American versus lorry in English. It means the same usually. Most people usually call it truck. And then we have standard versus the non-standard form. Some dialects are considered prestigious or standard dialects, while others may be seen as informal or colloquial. So the conclusion for our presentations for today is dialects are variation of language influenced by region, social class, culture, different pronunciation, vocabulary, and grammar. They shape identity and communication, while diglossia refers to society using two distinct varieties of a language. For a formal or high variety, like we talked about before, for the official context, and the informal or the low variety for daily conversations. Both concepts highlights the diversity and adaptability of language in social interactions. So, thank you for your attention. Presentation for today has concluded, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Bye bye.